It's Hero February, so it's time to celebrate the wonderful world of Hero Factory. And what better way to do that than by looking at a bunch of incredible heroes and villains. We have everything from transforming heroes to sweet purple villains. Let's dive in and see some awesome creations. We begin with a cool transforming Hero Factory creation. This is Bulk by Tron-style. So here he is in robot mode. It's nice, these tires here, they provide some big bulky shoulders. With a character called Bulk, well, that just makes sense. Now I know that might sound a bit obvious, but when you look at actual Bulk sets, especially the one that shares this same mask, well, he was not bulky at all. I don't know why they did that. So yeah, surprisingly, Bulk being bulky isn't as common as you think. It's nice that he is here. I greatly enjoy the spamming of weapon pieces on this. Whether it's the doubled up drill, that's just cool. Or using, 6 of these half dome mace pieces. There's a few up top, some down the bottom. It makes her a pretty cool looking weapon. But okay, here we go. Here it is in its transformation. He turns into a really nice car. It's actually quite impressive how much the body compresses down. The design feels so compact. There's barely any gaps. It looks strong, it looks sturdy. Wow. Honestly, I would even describe this car as being bulky. I feel like that's the one thing you have to do if you're building a Bulk revamp, right? Make him bulky. It's simple. But again, people sometimes neglect to do that. I don't know, Matt, seeing this makes me long for a return of Hero Factory. And that's my dream. Whenever people ask, hey, if you could do another wave of Hero Factory, what would it be? Transforming heroes, that's what it would be. And transforming villains, that'd be cool. There's something about the DNA of Hero Factory where that feels so appropriate. Wouldn't that be sweet? Moving along to Shield Specialist Chad Agus. This is built by Patron. Oh, this is a lot of fun. Those shield add-on attachments, they make for a really striking presence. But what's really cool is how they fold in and armor up the hero. He's like a little turtle, closing himself in and being nothing but defense. But that's not even the best part. This whole thing can pop off and become a little sentry drone. It's actually kind of cute. Look at his little green eye. This is so creative. And good choice too to add in some of these stickered Technic panels. These appear in the awesome Hero Factory dropship. Here's a closer look at them, they're cool pieces. I also enjoy the fact that this is basically a 100% silver hero. More like 90%, but you get the idea. With pieces like the silver hero core from the pilot from that same dropship set, or Brain Attack Breeze's mask in silver, combine that with the silver printed visor from Furno XL, and you know what? It's actually pretty simple to make a totally silver hero. Wonderful. So many creative concepts on this is great. Rangara Builds has taken a few of the 1.0 heroes and revamped them. Now I'm sure you're aware, those original 1.0 heroes, they did not have any knees or elbows. But oi, the simple solution of swapping those limbs out for CCBS pieces, well, it's a perfect fit. It fixes the previous issues and it looks good. It's amazing how nicely the textures of these pieces pair with those original torsos. You'd think it might clash a little bit, but nah, it's great. And it's really nice to see Bulk and Stringer's weird blaster arms, the ones that have the arm molded into it. Well, they actually still scale well with the CCBS pieces. I was worried that it might make the arms look a little bit too stubby and it just wouldn't scale right, but nah, it works. It fits right in. It's also great to see Surge with a big old blue flamethrower. This big blue piece here comes from a Dreams treehouse. It's an interesting piece. And hey, Surge is no stranger to big blue weapons. I think this is a good match. Now we have Volt by Mr. Maxwell. I really like seeing people stretching the boundaries of what classifies as a hero and what they can look like. This more stylized approach is just great. But how about this color scheme? What is it? Azure, purple, yellow, black? It pops. Look at these purple tails. The sharp curve that this has. It gives off a really nice amount of energy and flair. These pieces originate from the old CCBS Joker. It was a good set with some pretty good pieces. And while we're talking about good pieces, dude, this sword. It's probably the best sword element that LEGO has ever made. It comes from an Exoforce set, Sky Guardian. the quick electric feeling of this sword. It fits right in with these colors. But let me point out one small detail. These little triangles on the legs. In this bright yellow color, they would have appeared on a Moana set. And you get a lot of them. It's great, I love this piece. LEGO has been making it more and more these days, and they've been producing it in all sorts of different colors. And I think it's such a nice piece to use just to add in a little bit of extra decoration. I can't think of a single time that this piece has been used and it hasn't looked amazing. You gotta pick some of these up. Now we have Aquick by Austin Powell. We've had some good color schemes this episode. How nice is it to get some darker colors like black and gunmetal and mix them in with some darker shades of blue, translucent blue. It reminds me of Tron. It reminds me of a big city at night. That's just a cool color scheme. I like the wheel for this face and the pin in the middle for the eye. Always a big fan of those Aquagon swords. Dude, this looks great. Wonderful work. This next one is Earnest Soars by Crescent. This right here is one of my favorite things to see during the month of Hero February. Really refined, highly detailed MOCs in that glorious 2.0 Hero style. Just look at the details, like this minifigure backpack for a pouch on the belt. He's got a little data pad built into his arm, and then the other arm, it's robotic. I guess technically he should all be robotic because he is a robot, but yeah, hey, the aesthetic of this I think fits in with the description of this character. He's described as a technician. So, you know, a tech arm, a big blaster, a robot arm, and a little drone companion. All of this stuff really does sell the idea that they are a tech-focused character. It is nice to see that visual design work actually reflecting the character's backstory and who they are. Not every MOC does that. That's nice to see it here. The character also wears Furno 2.0's goggles, which also feels somewhat high-tech. It's also nice too to see that you can flip this piece, and now it looks like he's just raised the goggles up to rest above his eyes. Fun. One last thing. It's very nice to see a minifigure life preserver on the torso. These torso pieces are always really cool, but you're kind of forced to put a hero core over the top. That's what the set tells you to do, and when you leave it blank, it just, well, it looks blank. This is a nice alternative to customize it just a little bit and still make sure that it looks good. And this is interesting too, you know, normally there's a H on the front, but now this kind of forms a bit of an O. That could be cool. Maybe there's some sort of rival company that rivals Hero Factory, Omnicore or something like that. Maybe they're producing better heroes under different branding. But there's something sketchy about this corporation. Maybe they're secretly villains in disguise. I don't think that's what's happening here, I think this is just a regular hero, but maybe that's something you could play around with yourself. Our final MOC today, this is The Huntsman by Inspiration to Creations. So this MOC is described as a former villain, now working as an informant and an occasional ally for the heroes. Oh, I like that. I feel like a lot of people like to play with the whole like, oh, they're a hero gone rogue or a villain turned into a hero. This is a nice in-between. I've not heard that too many times when I've read backstories for MOCs. And oh baby, glorious, glorious purple. You might notice that some of these are official purple pieces, but some are not. Well, these custom purple parts came from Biryu MOCs. He's a swell dude who makes a lot of really, really cool custom pieces. And actually, I bought a few purple pieces off of him not too long ago. You can see the video for that elsewhere on this channel. So yeah, it's great to see someone supporting this dude and buying his great stuff, and then actually using those pieces in a MOC. There's also a few pieces in here from Zion Tyro. I believe it's some of the spring green claws. Anyway, Zion Tyro is another dude that sells great custom or knockoff pieces. Some really good quality stuff. And he's a cool guy. Always a pleasure to see their pieces in action. Anyway, the MOC. I love this arm. Spamming a bunch of these Matoran leg pieces from Onepu. The resulting texture is kind of funky. I like it. And then these spider-like eyes. This is simply accomplished by taking some of these like Viking horn pieces and just kind of jamming them into the eye. And I like that they're jammed in opposite directions. That way you get bigger eyes and smaller ones as well. Genius. It really does look like a spider. And not for nothing, spring green and purple, ooh, baby, that's good. There you go, folks, 7 different creators giving us amazing, breathtaking creations. Hopefully this has given you a few ideas and you can make some Hero Factory MOCs for yourself. Now's the perfect time to do it, it's HF Feb. Go out there and build yourself some heroes. Or be a little evil and build some villains. Do whatever the heck you want. It's Hero February. But when you post it online, tag it with the hashtag HFFeb. And by all means, if you've got a cool Hero Factory creation, send it to the submission email. If you want to copy and paste that, it's in the description below. Also in the description below are links to everyone's social media from the builders I featured today. Check it out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy building, and bye for now. What, you think I got something to say at the end of the episode? I do not. I ain't got nothing today.